issues and immigration.
Thank you, Brett. This question is for you, Governor Perry. This topic received a lot of traffic on Twitter. You have joined the 57 House Republicans who have called for the Attorney General of the United States, Eric Holder, to resign in the wake of the failed federal gun tracking program, Operation Fast and Furious. So far, there is no clear proof that Mr. Holder knew about the controversial aspects of this operation, and he points out that he actually helped stop it once it came to his attention. Are you and other Republicans politicizing this issue as General Holder claims?
If I'm the President of the United States and I find out that there is an operation like Fast and Furious and my Attorney General didn't know about it, I would have him resign immediately. You cannot. The President of the United States comes to El Paso, Texas earlier this year and proclaims that the border of Texas and Mexico, the U.S. border with Mexico, is safer than it's ever been. Well, let me tell you, I've been dealing with this issue for 11 years. I've sent Texas Ranger recon teams there. Our law enforcement men and women face fire from across the border or in the U.S. side from these drug cartels. It is not safe there. Our country is at jeopardy. If we're going to be able to defend America from Iran, from Hezbollah, from Hamas, that are using Mexico as a border, as a way to penetrate into the southern part of the United States. Venezuela has the largest Iranian embassy in the world there. We know what's going on. It is time for this country to have a real conversation about a Monroe Doctrine again, like we did against the Cubans in the 60s.
Senator Santorum, what say you to the Attorney General's claim that the Republicans are politicizing this issue?
I would agree with Governor Perry that if he was the Attorney General under me, I would have him. I would fire him. I wouldn't have him resign. I'd fire him. This is something he should have been aware of. Something that should have been stopped. This shouldn't have started in the first place. I think Governor Perry is also right, and this is something I've been saying now for many years, which is we need to pay much more attention to what's going on in our own hemisphere. Not only do they have the largest embassy in Venezuela, there are flights from Tehran from Damascus to Caracas, and those flights stop at a military base before they come into the civilian base. There are training camps, jihadist training camps in Central and South America. They're working with the drug cartels, and they are planning assaults on the United States. That's what we know is going on right now, and we are doing. This president has ignored that threat, has insulted our allies like Honduras and Colombia deliberately, has embraced, as he has the other scoundrels in the Middle East, has embraced Chavez and Ortega and others in Central and South America, not promoting our values and interests. We need a brand new initiative, an initiative that says that we will promote our values in this region and we will stop the spread of terrorism in Central and South America.
Governor Romney, last week, you said that the 11 million illegal immigrants now in this country must return to their countries of origin before they can apply for legal status. You also said that we are not going to go around and round up the 11 million. Why would these illegal immigrants voluntarily leave America just to apply for a chance at legal status, especially when they have your assurance that if they stay put, we're not going to round them up?
Let me tell you how that works. We're going to have an identification card for people who come here legally. Last campaign, actually, Rudy Giuliani talked about this time and time again. We'd have a card, a little plastic card, bio information on it. Individuals who come here legally have that card, and when they apply for a job, they're able to show that to the employer. The employer must then check it with E-Verify or a similar system. Newt Gingrich points out, let American Express or MasterCard or Visa process that, immediately determine if the card's valid or not. So people come here legally, they got that card. If employers hire people without that card, the employer gets sanctioned just like they do for not paying taxes. Very serious sanctions. So you say to people who are here illegally today, you're not going to be able to work here unless you register, and we'll give you a transition period of time, and then ultimately you got to go home, apply for permanent residency here or citizenship if you want to try and do that, but get in line behind everyone else. My view is people who've come here illegally, we welcome you to apply, but you must get at the back of the line because there are millions of people who are in line right now that want to come here legally. I want those to come here legally. Those that are here illegally have to get in line with everybody else.
Speaker Gingrich, is that realistic?
Well, let me start and say that Congressman Steve King has just introduced the IDEA Act, which would in fact reinforce this model, because it would take away all tax deductibility for anyone who is employed illegally. And once you have something like E-Verify effectively working, you really build a big sanction. We disagree some on what you do with very, very long-term people here. I think somebody who's been here 25 years and has family here and has local families supporting them ought to have some kind of civilian certification. But let me say on this whole issue of immigration, on day one, I would drop all the lawsuits against Arizona, South Carolina, and Alabama. It is wrong for the government. I would propose cutting off all federal aid to any sanctuary city that deliberately violated federal law. And I'd begin the process of completing control of the border by January 1, 2014. Those steps would begin to fundamentally change the entire behavior towards getting control of legality in the United States.
Governor Huntsman, a recent Fox News poll showed that 66% of voters believe that the government should allow a path to citizenship for the illegal immigrants who are already here in this country. And nearly 3/4 of Latinos agree. Given these majorities and given the growing importance of the Latino vote in the general election, does the Republican presidential candidate need to take a more moderate approach on this issue if he hopes to defeat President Obama?
Well, I think the Republican candidate has to speak based on our values, the values of the Republican Party. Limited government, pro-growth. These are the things that the Hispanic and Latino populations are going to be looking for. You don't need to pander. You just need to be, we need to be who we are. But in terms of immigration and illegal immigration, this president has so screwed up this economy, nobody's coming anymore. There's nothing to come for. I mean, there's not a problem today. Just take a look at the numbers coming across. I mean, the net numbers, it was posted the other day, lowest in 4 decades. So I say, you know, we've got to secure the border, of course. We've got to deal with the 11, 12 million people who are here. But let's not lose sight of the fact that legal immigration is an engine of growth for this country. Half of the Fortune 500 companies in this country today were founded by immigrants. We have lost probably, well, our market share of travel and tourism has gone from 7% to 12% because our visa system is so screwed up in this nation. So you've got to look at the Department of Homeland Security. You've got to completely remake the way that people are moving back and forth, our H-1B visa system, how we're dealing with the movement of people, how we're dealing with immigration. This is an economic development opportunity, and we are missing it.
Thank you, Governor. Brett.